Hey, everybody, this is Joe Bovino from Bovino Law Group, where we help you to pursue your American dream confidently. I haven't shot a video in a while. I wanted to do one today about Florida. Why, if you're a foreigner looking at the United States, you should consider Florida to live, work, invest in, or start a business. Florida is where I'm located right now. It's a great state. But why specifically should you consider Florida when there's so many other places to live in the United States, so many other states you've heard about? Why Florida? The main reason is a greater sense of individual freedom, especially if you're coming from a country where you're dealing with a relatively tyrannical government. Right now, a lot of my clients are Canadian these days because the government's been going nuts up there and the people are just craving freedom. So they're looking at the United States, and when they look at Florida, it's arguably one of the freest states in the United States. Why is that? The reason for that is, in the United States anyway, much of what happens in your life, much of your day-to-day activity is not controlled by or really affected by what's happening in Washington, D.C. with Joe Biden and all that monkey business. What matters is who's in charge of your state government. What are the laws and regulations in effect in your state? Because they differ from state to state, and we have 50 of them. Well, in Florida, we have a government now for a while. We have a governor and state legislators that have been passing laws that favor individual freedom. So you can be a Floridian, go about your business, live your life, and the government's going to do its best to stay out of your way and let you do what you do best, not make decisions for you. And that really appeals to a lot of people. So it's a greater sense of freedom here, if that's what you're looking for, and a lot of people are. I used to live in California. I have many fond memories of California, Los Angeles, friends there, family, but it's changed. I prefer Florida because I feel a lot freer here in every way. And that includes the culture, to be who I want to be, say what I want to say. It just feels freer. So keep that in mind. Things change from state to state, depending on the state government, the laws and regulations in place. Now, this is becoming widely known in the United States, which may explain why Florida is number one in domestic migration. So right now, more people are moving from other US states to Florida than any place else. They know that they're coming here for freedom. A lot of it has to do with what happened during COVID, not all of it. But during COVID, a lot of the US states really cracked down with the lockdowns and the mandates and all that. Not really in Florida. We had a couple months in 2020 when everybody was trying to figure out what was going on. But after that, the government got out of the way for the most part, started leaving people alone, took care of the elderly, a lot of old people here, the people who have comorbidities, as they say. But the rest of us got to make choices for ourselves about what we want to do to protect ourselves, to run our business, right? A lot of small businesses in the US went out of business because they couldn't stay open. The government would force them to be closed, not here. So the COVID policy here has been extremely, I would say, favorable to individual freedom, businesses, and all that for a very long time. I have people visit me from other countries, even other US states, and they get here and they're like, "Oh my God, it's like night and day. What's going on here? This place is great." They can't believe it. You don't have to wear a mask almost everywhere, unless you want to. If you want to wear a mask, that's okay too. But anyway, COVID was really an eye opener for a lot of people. But it's not just that. Florida also is very, favorable to individual freedom and freedom to run your business as you wish and make money, because From state to state, there are the states make decisions about what to charge their residents as an income tax. Okay, all Americans pay a tax to the federal government, but the states can make decisions too about how they're going to tax their residents. Some states, like California, where I lived for a long time, New York, New Jersey, whatever, not to pick on those states, but they're extreme examples. They have a high income tax. So Americans, residents there have to pay their federal tax and their state income tax, and that adds up. It can be hard to stay in business. It can be hard to do your thing if you're getting those taxes. Here in Florida, there is no state income tax. There are a few other states in the United States that are like that, but Florida is one of them, and it's great. I can tell you, as someone who lives here, not having to worry about a state income tax is wonderful. Despite not having a state income tax, the state of Florida has a $20 billion surplus in its budget, the biggest it's ever had. So how can that be? Well, the state everybody wants to be here. Number one in domestic migration. There's all sorts of businesses moving here. It's number one in tourism, right? Florida's number one in tourism in the United States. The tourists want to come here. Lots of money is being spent. There are state sales taxes. There are property taxes for people who are buying homes and who own homes, that sort of thing. So there's plenty of money for the government without charging an income tax. Anyway, it's wonderful. What else? Let's see. Some of this is you've heard about. Everybody knows about the weather here. I am looking out my window there. It is absolutely gorgeous. I can see cruise ships, boats, palm trees. It's a beautiful sunny day. Beaches here are some of the world's best. That's another reason to consider Florida. It's not that hot. Don't believe that. At least I don't think it is. It's too hot. It's tropical, but it's great. What else? When I first came to Florida, I remember I was having a discussion with someone who was giving me some reasons not to live here. And they were saying, I don't know how many years ago it was, but they were saying, well, the schools aren't that great. And there aren't as many big businesses here. So there aren't as many job opportunities. Well, I don't know if that was true at the time, but I can tell you now it's not true right now. It's not true anymore. Lots of businesses are moving their operations to Florida because they can operate without all the regulations and taxes. And there's just so much activity here. There's so much opportunity, so many people. So the businesses are here, and the schools. U.S. News and World Report has ranked Florida's higher educational system number one for several years, number one in the country, because of the combination of good or great schools, higher education, universities, whatever, that are affordable. So you can get a great education, or your kids can. You have lots of options. And when they come out, or when you come out from school, usually it's going to be your kids, whatever. When you graduate, you're not going to be saddled with debt because you had to take out student loans and the school was so expensive. Here it's more affordable. So you either have no debt or you'll have some debt, and you can get on with your life and start making money, get on with your career. You see what I mean? So the schools here are, I think, still underrated. People don't realize how great the school system is here. They're not all great. It's a big state. But number one, U.S. News and World Report, number one higher educational system in Florida. People are surprised by that oftentimes. So those are some of the reasons why you should consider, if you're a foreigner looking at the United States and you're asking, where should I live? Florida should be at the top of your list or near the top of your list, in my humble opinion, unless you have a good reason to be somewhere else. Texas is a great state right now. A lot of people moving there. You may want to live in California, despite all the taxes and regulations and the weird cultural stuff going on. If you've got a great job opportunity out there, or your profession, because of what you do, California would work better for you. Okay, fine. But this video is about why Florida is a wonderful choice for many, many people looking at the United States and trying to decide where to live. Plus, if you're here, we have a chance to meet in person, which is always nice. I will let you go on that note. I hope that was helpful. If you want to speak with me, contact me about your specific circumstances. If you have questions about your specific immigration opportunities, you can reach me on the website, bovinolowgroup.com. Just schedule a consultation. You could also WhatsApp me. There's a WhatsApp button on the website. You can also email me, joe@bovinolowgroup.com. That's all for now. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.